There is a player at Rangers who is starting to attract a lot of attention behind the scenes at Ibrox. Now, he may not have played many games yet, but the reports coming out of the Rangers training ground suggest that the coaching staff are becoming increasingly excited about his potential. Sometimes a player arrives at a club and it takes months or even years before people really begin to notice what he can do. But in this case, it seems the exact opposite is happening, because the more the Rangers coaches see of him in training and the more small glimpses they get when he steps onto the pitch, the more convinced they are that they might have a very special talent developing right in front of them. And after what happened yesterday against St Mirren, the belief around this player has only grown even stronger. So let's get into the story. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Now, according to recent reports, Rangers coaches are convinced that rising star Rummans could be the next big thing at Ibrox after being completely blown away by his development on the training ground. The 22-year-old who arrived at the club back in January is already being viewed internally as one of the most promising young players currently within the Rangers squad. While he may still be relatively new to the team, sources close to the club say the coaching staff have very quickly taken notice of the qualities he brings to the group, not just technically on the ball, but mentally as well. Those inside the Rangers training setup have reportedly been extremely impressed by how quickly Rummans has adapted to life at the club. Stepping into a place like Ibrox is never easy. The expectations are enormous, the pressure from the fans is constant, and every performance is scrutinized. For a young player still trying to establish himself, that can be a huge challenge. But according to people working with him on a daily basis, Rummans has handled that challenge exceptionally well. In fact, there is already a growing belief among some members of the coaching staff that his potential may eventually stretch well beyond Rangers, with suggestions that if his development continues on the same path, he could one day develop into a player capable of performing at the highest level. And the excitement surrounding him has only increased following his goal against St Mirren. Moments like that do more than simply help the team secure results. They also strengthen the belief inside the club that they might have a very special player on their hands. Despite having made only a handful of appearances so far, Rummans has already been singled out internally as a player who could develop into something very special. Members of the manager's backroom staff have reportedly been hugely impressed by the speed of his improvement. One source even explained that the coaching team have been blown away by his development, particularly by how rapidly he has progressed during training sessions. They reportedly see something very different about him, not just natural talent, but also the kind of mentality and work ethic that suggests he could continue improving at a very high level. And that mentality is something that has really caught the attention of the Rangers coaching staff. By all accounts, Rummans approaches every training session with the same focus and intensity. He is constantly pushing himself, constantly trying to improve different areas of his game. And that attitude is exactly what coaches look for when identifying players who have the potential to become key figures for the club. For Rangers supporters, this could be the beginning of another exciting story developing at Ibrox. Fans always love seeing new players arrive and grow into important figures within the team. And the early signs suggest that Rummans may well have the qualities needed to do exactly that. Of course, it is still early days. There is a long way to go before any player can truly establish themselves at the very highest level of the game. But if his current trajectory continues the way the coaching staff believe it will, Rummans could very well become the next big star at Ibrox. And the player himself clearly believes Rangers are capable of achieving something special this season. Speaking about the Premiership title race, Rummans said he is convinced Rangers can still win every remaining game and go on to lift the trophy. With 8 games left to play and 24 points still available, Rangers currently sit just 3 points behind at the top of the table. When asked whether he believes Rangers can win the title, the 22-year-old left-back said, "Of course we have the confidence, but we have to take it game by game. He continued by saying the belief within the squad remains very strong. He also spoke about the difficult conditions in the match against St Mirren, explaining that the most important thing was simply securing the result. That was a very hard one to win with the conditions. These away games in this competition are very tough. It's another game altogether when you play them at home. The most important thing was the 3 points, and that's what we did. And if Rangers can continue picking up results like that in the weeks ahead, the belief inside the dressing room and around Ibrox will only continue to grow. In other news, Finlay Curtis has been handed his first call-up to the Scotland squad after a fine run of form for Kilmarnock. The winger made the switch to Rugby Park late in the winter transfer window and has made an immediate impression for Neil McCann's side. Curtis helped Killie to victory over Premiership leaders Hearts on Saturday night and opened the door for Rangers to move within 3 points in the title race. Now Curtis has been rewarded by boss Steve Clarke and will be part of the group to face Japan and the Ivory Coast in 2 World Cup warm-up matches this month. Liam Kelly and John Souttar have also been named in the group. Former Rangers players Nathan Patterson, Ross McCrory and Billy Gilmore are included. Curtis has made 6 appearances for Killie so far this term. His form will be crucial for McCann and Billy Dodds as they look to steer their side to safety in the closing weeks of the campaign. The forward opened his term with a stunning strike in the win over Panathinaikos at Ibrox. Further goals against Alloa and St Mirren followed, but his chances for regular first-team football became limited. His final appearance for Danny Roll's side came in the Europa League defeat to Porto, and his international recognition justifies the decision to send him on loan to Rugby Park for the second half of the season. In general, I want to praise Findlay for the last 2 weeks, Roll said after the defeat in Portugal. Sometimes when you speak with a player and give him some examples, I think Findy understood my words 2.5 weeks ago when we spoke very honestly about how I see him. Since then, he has exactly the mindset. Today he was brave, also with nice possession. I must say, for 1-0, I liked this match because we were on the front foot. Won the ball high up the pitch against a team who are not easy to press. We make a decision in the next couple of days about Curtis, and we also need to look at the bigger picture. It's about game time. It doesn't matter how we decide, he is on the right track. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.